Hi, Neka. Thanks for having me over. Are you excited about moving to Nigeria?
Yes, very.
Fantastic. Would it be okay if I gave myself a quick tour?
Sure. Go right
Awesome.
ahead.
Neka, you have a beautiful home.
Thank you.
If it's okay, let's use the kitchen table so we can lay everything out.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, I'll have you sit right there. Okay. Let's talk about getting you to Nigeria.
Okay.
So, Neka, the first thing I'd like to do is review your situation and what's important to you about making this move. Is that okay?
Yes.
Great. So, you said that when you sell this property, you're planning to move to Nigeria, correct?
Yes.
Great. And you're moving there because you have some job opportunities there and you have family there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And you said that you would like to be there by the new year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And so if we didn't sell the home in 30 days, or sorry, if we sold the home in 30 days or less, that would not be a problem for you, right?
No.
Got it. And you said that if you didn't sell the property for some reason, that you would most likely end up renting it, but either way, you're still moving to Nigeria.
Yes.
Awesome. And the price that you're thinking about listing the property for is around 700,000, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Great. And of course, I research the market every day, so we'll make sure that we list the property at a price that will get it sold, right?
Okay.
Awesome. Now, Neka, when we talked on the phone, you said that the lowest price you would consider is around 675. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. And you said that you owe around 300,000 on the property, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, is there anything else that I'm forgetting that is part of should be considered in the sale?
No, I don't think so.
Great. Now, Neka, I have three bottom line questions for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Great. Number one, are you definitely ready to sell this property?
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. Number two, will you price it where it will sell, or are you okay if it just sits on the market?
I'm willing to price it where it will sell.
Excellent. Excellent. Number three, and most importantly, Neka, is do you want me to get it sold for you?
Possibly.
Okay, great. I mean, that's why we're here, right?
Yes.
Great. So, Neka, the purpose of our meeting today is really twofold. Number one is for me to provide you with some very important information about exactly what it's going to take to get your property sold for top dollar so that we can get you and your family to Nigeria by the new year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. And number two is for us to decide today if this is going to be a good fit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. So hopefully by the end of our meeting today, you'll feel confident about whether or not partnering with me in the sale of your home is the right move for you. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
Great. Now, Neka, let me just pause here and say that whether you decide to hire me today or not, I hope it will become clear to you through our meeting that my goal is to help you get what you want. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. Because Neka, I have two younger sisters,
Okay.
right? And I'm basically your stereotypical overprotective big brother, right? So I'm very overprotective of my sisters. And so when I got into real estate, I instinctively took the same approach with my clients. See, my number one job as your agent is to protect you from things that would rob you of your hard-earned equity. Okay? So if we start talking today and we realize that it's just not going to be a good fit, or if I realize that I can't help you, then I'm just going to tell you today
Okay.
because I'm not interested in just getting another listing. I'm very interested in helping you and your family get to Nigeria because that's what you really want at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
Then we're already on the same page. So so there's really one key item left for us to address today,
Okay.
and that is to determine the right price to sell on your home that will cause it to sell.
Okay.
Because obviously you don't want to put your home on the market to have it not sell, right?
Correct.
Great. So here's what I'm going to do. As soon as you decide to put me to work, I'm going to do everything it takes through my action plan to get your home exposed to all of the qualified buyers in the marketplace.
Okay.
Because this is the kind of exposure you want for your home, right?
Yes.
Great. So the key for us today is to determine the right price to set on your home that will get these qualified buyers excited about your home when they see it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. So, in preparation for our meeting today, I conducted a thorough market study for your home, also called a comparative market analysis.
Okay.
Now, Neka, are you familiar with this?
No.
Okay, great. So that's no problem. Basically, the market analysis, there's three main parts to it. Now, the first part is right here. The first part is right here. They're your active listings,
Okay.
right? Now, these are your competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. I call this dreamland because it's what people want to get for their homes, but you and I don't really know what it's going to sell for, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Great. Now, the second section are the expired listings. Do you know what these are?
No.
Okay, these are homes that didn't sell at all. They wanted to sell, but something went wrong
Okay.
and they ended up expired.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I call this Never Never Land. Can you see why?
Yes.
Because you never want to end up here,
Right.
right?
Right.
And these homes never wanted to end up here either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, the last section are the sold listings.
Okay.
Now, this is reality because this is what homes are actually selling for in today's market, which is what buyers are actually paying now.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. So, obviously, if we want to get you and your family moved to Nigeria by January, in which of these three categories do we want your house to end up?
In reality.
Exactly. So that's where we're focused today.
Okay.
Okay? Great. Now, the purpose of the market analysis is to determine the value of your home. First, as a buyer will see it, and second, as an appraiser will see it.
Okay.
And I'm sure you can understand why this is important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. So first, the appraiser, because this is who the buyer's lender will hire to determine the value of the property based on what comparable homes are selling for.
Mm-hmm.
Based on this. And because that's going to tell you what buyers are actually paying now.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. And second is to make sure that we price your home in a way that makes it attractive to buyers. Because are buyers only going to look at your home, or are they going to shop around to compare your home with others?
They'll shop around, definitely.
Of course. And as they're shopping around and comparing, what kind of things do you think they're comparing?
Maybe looking at the location,
Mm-hmm.
the size of the home, different features of the home, and the price, of course.
Yes, exactly. Just like you said, they're looking at the location, the different features, and like you said, they're looking at price, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. So, are you ready to take a look?
Yes.
Excellent. So let's look at this one first. This is 1702 Mason Hill Drive.
Okay.
Now, have you seen this home before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, great. Well, notice how many bedrooms the property has.
5.
5 bedrooms, great. And how many bathrooms?
2.
And how many half bathrooms?
1.
Good, 1 half bathroom. And how many levels does it have?
3 levels.
Exactly. And how many square feet does it have?
2,748.
Exactly, 2,748. And notice what year it was built.
Wow, 1978.
1978, exactly. Now, this home is a little bit nicer than yours because it was recently, even though it was built in 1978, it was recently renovated.
Okay.
Okay. Now, notice what their price was.
$719,000.
Exactly, $719,000. And how long was it on the market?
Wow, 8 days.
8 days. Right. And it sold for how much?
719.
Exactly. So they listed it at 719,000 and it sold for 719,000
Okay.
in 8 days.
Okay.
Right? So how's that going to work for us getting you to Nigeria by January?
Pretty well.
Exactly. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know that this property was a little bit nicer than yours.
Mm-hmm.
So based on what the market is telling us, what price do you feel will get buyers excited about choosing your home over our competition?
Maybe coming in at like 680.
680. That's great. That's great. And so after reviewing your home and after reviewing what the market is telling us, I'm actually suggesting that we come in at 700, that we list your property for $700,000.
Okay.
And you can see why that's the right price, right?
Yes.
Great. Because that will get you the most amount of money and the best amount of time so we can get you and your family moved to Nigeria.
Okay.
Won't that be exciting?
Yes, very.
Great. So do you have any questions on anything we've covered so far?
No, not right now.
Great. So are you ready for the next step?
Yes.
Awesome. So the net sheet gives you a breakdown of all the costs, standard costs and expenses for sellers, and will tell you how much you're going to walk away with after the sale of your property.
Okay.
Now, I'm assuming that's something you'd like to know, right?
Yes.
Great. So here are all the standard expenses and closing fees for sellers.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
No.
Awesome. So, based on a realistic sales price of $700,000 and an estimated close date of December 1st, here are the total net proceeds to you at closing.
Wow.
Now, NECA, that's a number you can live with, right?
Yes.
Excellent. So, we'll get the property on the market at $700,000, which we agreed is the right price, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, NECA, I'm ready for you to put me to work.
Okay.
Are you ready for the next step?
Yes.
Awesome. Can I lay out for you what's going to happen next?
Sure.
Perfect. Here are the highlights. First, we want to make sure your property shows its best, right? Great. So I'm going to arrange for you to meet with a stager. And she's going to come in and give you some advice on things that you can do with the property to make it show its best.
Okay.
All right. Now, she normally charges for this first consultation. However, I'm going to take care of that, so it's completely free to you. How does that sound?
I like free.
Great. So after we do that, I'll launch my pre-marketing campaign immediately because you did want us to get the most exposure to the market as fast as possible, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Now, next, I'll launch my exclusive 10-day marketing blitz. Sound exciting?
Yes.
Great. So here's what's going to happen. Your property will be marketed to every potential buyer out there. And it will be promoted to every licensed realtor and their buyers through the multiple listing service. Plus, I'll have it syndicated to over 50,000 real estate websites, including all the most popular ones that buyers go to online, like Redfin, Zillow, and Trulia. Now, I'm assuming you can understand how important this kind of internet exposure is for us, right?
Yes, definitely.
Great. Now, in addition to this, I'm also going to have 2 open house events the first 2 weekends that your property is on the market. Now, can I explain how this is going to work?
Yes, please.
Great. So before your property comes on the market, before the day of the open house, I should say, I'm going to door knock all of your neighbors and let them know that we're having the open house. And I'm going to invite them to come. More importantly, I'm going to invite them to let any of their friends know about the open house. So in essence, we're recruiting them to help us get your property sold.
Okay.
Right? And so with all of this happening, there's going to be a lot of buyer traffic. Okay? Now, I'm going to follow up with all of that to then get us the best offers.
Okay.
Now, once we get those offers, I'm going to negotiate them to ultimately get your property sold for the most amount of money and get you and your family moved to Nigeria.
All right.
Now, are you ready for that?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Now, NECA, are you ready to start packing?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So I'm going to have you sign right here
Okay.
and initial right here on the CMA and the net sheet,
Okay.
and then we'll take care of the rest of this paperwork, and I'll get to work.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Boom! All right, that's it. That's done.